Hey guys, Multi here. Today let's talk about the current topic, the hot topic, the drama about the World of Warcraft. We talk about the subscribers drama. Is the game dying? Is it thriving or whatever? Let us talk about those things. First of all, I want to show you this article from WoW. It's about reflecting on 30 years of Warcraft. Blizzard revealed subscriber trends at GDC. And yeah, we had here this graphic where they showed the subscriber trends without exact numbers, which brings us to the next thing that I will show you in a second, next picture. So first of all, you can see here the very unsurprisingly always the peaks when a new expansion is coming out. Maybe the highest peak ever would be the World of Warcraft Classic launch. Sorry, oh, man. And then later on the Burning Crusade, Wrath. Strangely, there's nothing going on. For me, that's a little bit weird. Maybe this is a super small peak, but besides that, especially in the retail expansions launches, always a peak. And like I said, the highest peak here in World of Warcraft Classic relaunch in 2019. So that brings us to this year. There's a lot of arguments about this graphic. I think it's from Bellular, if I'm not wrong. I will link his channel in the video description. I think he posted it on Twitter or on YouTube, if I'm not wrong. So let's talk about it. There's quite a discussion, mostly on Twitter, maybe also on Reddit or on Discords, but I usually follow mostly on Twitter, about those numbers. So seems like we had maybe numbers back then. That's how he filled them up, and then he made, just with his thinking, he filled up these other numbers. But as you can see, we are right now on a very high subscriber numbers with around 7.2 million subscribers, which is without any doubt a lot. As you can see, we are pretty much where we were around the Legion era, which was still pretty good. Not the best era that World of Warcraft ever had, but still a pretty good one. Just to be honest, I think the highest point is back in the days, first time Wrath, like 12.5 million, if I'm not wrong. So lately there was a lot of fights, like what is better, classic, retail, how they are combined, what is getting played more, is World of Warcraft in general dying, or is just retail dying? So yeah, let us figure these numbers out. In my opinion, it's pretty easy. First of all, 7.2 million is very good for Blizzard in general, for talking about World of Warcraft. That's a lot of subscribers and that's a lot of money. But if you see here at the end of pretty at the end of BFA, and then when Classic got re-released, we see here numbers going up 4.2 million. Just this difference from, sure, that was not peak retail players, that was a low number of retail players, but if we see here, it's 5.8 is this yellow number, and this is the peak during BFA. So I don't know what would be a fair number, maybe around 5 million retail players around that time, commonly not on the peak, so like I said, commonly around 5 million, and then it peaked 8.27 on the classic relaunch, which is a lot. I mean, it's not exactly the double, but it's getting pretty close to the double. And then we have here this time Shadowlands, again a very high peak, maybe still fed by the classic relaunch. Strangely here, Burning Crusade and Wrath doesn't seem to fit the narrative, to be honest. But think about this: with Burning Crusade and Wrath together, we are just around 4.5 million people. So seems like this is the number combined when nothing is hyped. Nothing is hyped, nothing really fancy, super crazy, like super new raid, this, does, nothing. If this is seems like, and if you especially go back, we were here around 5 million in a certain point, and then now we are here already on 4.5 million. So here we are 7.2 millions combined retail, Season of Discovery, Classic, Era, and Hardcore. I know there are not millions playing this, but still a lot. And Wrath and the Cataclysm waiting room, which is also not a very full room at the moment. But do you really think? I think a lot of people just let their subscription run for 2 or 3 months without playing. I know very, very less. Nearly all my friends have a World of Warcraft subscription running. They play any version of the game, but usually if they don't play for 2 months, they don't quit it. They just wait. So, in my opinion, first of all, this number is a little bit inflated, but maybe it was also inflated in the past. And those numbers are especially inflated because of all the different versions of the game. So, in my opinion, I'm sorry, I know that makes people mad. I saw it lately on Twitter when I just commented like something like this, like, hey, for me, retail, modern World of Warcraft is dying. For me, that still shows that modern World of Warcraft is dying. And it's not dying because it's a bad game. It's not a game anymore that was in the past. A great, awesome MMORPG, but it's still a good game. I played a lot. I play retail. I'm a little bit more than 3,000 Mythic Plus rating, which is not making me a pro player or whatever, but it's to show that I really play the game, just to make it clear, and I like the game, but it's not a game anymore that was in the past. And just be honest, guys, why should new players start playing World of Warcraft, especially the retail, the modern version of World of Warcraft? Too much add-ons, too much everything going on. You have to craft here an item. You have to get here this item to upgrade this item. How should they all know this when they have not people that they can all the time ask? I mean, it's so hard if they're not all the time Google and Wowhead, not watching YouTube videos. If you do all these things, if you read guides on Wowhead, if you watch YouTube videos, how to play your class and everything, you're already on a certain high percent of player base that is really into this game. Many people are just casuals, and it's nothing bad to be a casual player, because most people are casual players. So if you all the time watching for news, watching everything, follow Twitter drama or whatever, then you are not a casual player. Usually. For sure, there are also some casual players following these things, but yeah, you know what I mean. So, long story short, the numbers combined are good, or I would even say pretty good. If you divide those numbers into certain game modes, and especially maybe if you make it retail and classic, I think, to be honest, retail and classic are pretty close together. What does it mean? That means for me, we talk about around 3 million, 3.5 million each. What does it mean? That means, in my opinion, the lowest point ever, and I don't see back here in the past. Sorry, I can just see from here. I think could be. I think can we see it here? No, Wallets of Train, I wanted to say, was also pretty low in the history of Warcraft. But yeah, we are around 3.5 million subscribers, in my opinion, if we only talk about retail World of Warcraft, which is an all-time low number, and the numbers are, again, like I explained, decreasing and decreasing. Not because the game is bad, also because no new players, or there are so small amount of new players joining the game, but you know, there are people leaving the game because we all getting older, marriage, job, whatever. A lot of reasons that you stop playing the game, and yeah, at the end, that's it. We have a lot of bots that infest those numbers. We have people with 2 or more accounts. Also, people back in the days had 2 or more accounts, don't get me wrong, but I think it got quite more frequently nowadays that people have 2 or more accounts. For example, I have 2 accounts. I have an NA and an AU account, and then also a lot of other people that have 2 accounts. So if we really talk about the player base, the active player base, single person online there in the game, I think the numbers are low if we talk about retail, the numbers are not super crazy high if we talk about classic, but classic and retail combined are still, as you can see here, those numbers are not lying, in a pretty good shape. That is motivating Blizzard to continue that journey for the different games that they are now giving everybody with classic, with hardcore. For me, the fragmentation is not a good thing, but it is how it is. I think that's at the moment the way to go for Blizzard. I don't think that this will change in the future. The community is too divided. I know a lot of players that play both game modes, retail and classic, but also the general player base I think is too much divided, so they can never combine this again in one perfect game, because for me that would be perfect, a real mix of classic with retail. So that will never happen. I think Blizzard is doing good. I mean, 7.25 million times. Thinking about the monthly subscription, that's a very, very high amount, a very big amount of money. Why should they give it up? They will go the safe way, and the safe way is at the moment this fragmentation of the game. I hope nobody gets mad about this video. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that not a lot of people will watch it, because usually it's not the content that I provide, but I wanted to go over with you over those numbers. I think they are pretty interesting, and as I said again, combined they are pretty good. That's it for today, guys. Have a good one, good start of the week. See you. Bye bye.